Join me in welcoming Kyle Rodgers. Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
Good. Thanks so much for having me here. I am stoked to give some value and give you guys something that you can implement. I want your audience to be able to walk away with something today that's going to fix lead generation for them forever.
I love it. So start us off by telling us just a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Yeah, so I help online entrepreneurs, expert speakers, course creators. I help them scale to seven figures using 100% commission only sales teams without spending a dime on ads.
I love that. So d- you can't give us the whole secret sauce because I listened to your webinar and it's about 2 hours long, but give us a clue. What is one thing that most people don't know that you really wish they would when it comes to really generating leads and more importantly, sales?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I want to tackle one at a time. But first, let's tackle leads and then let's tackle sales. So rarely do you have a traffic problem. It's like you don't have an issue with traffic. With social media out there, you have unlimited eyeballs you can get in front of, even without paid ads. Most of the time, you have a positioning or a messaging problem rather than a traffic problem. If your messaging and your positioning is correct and you create resonance, then you'll solve that issue forever. Now, here's the other thing is if you think about growing an audience or generating leads, you can either spend money on paid advertising, which can be very expensive, or you can pay time for organic. But time is more expensive than money. So a lot of people get stuck on this. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to pay for ads or I'm going to lose money on ads for a bit till I learn them because I don't have the time to do organic and hope that one post goes viral. The cool thing about this is you don't have to take any of your time. You don't have to invest your time. You can leverage other people's work and other people's audiences. So let me tell you what I mean by that. When you tap into other people's audiences, you go find out or go find another influencer. They have reach, they get a lot of engagement on their Facebook profile or on Instagram, and you get them to promote you. They either do a shout out post and tag you in it, you get a bunch of comments, and then you get to slide into the DMs and get bookings from there. Or you do an interview together, and there's a couple different posts that go out, and you have multiple posts to work, multiple posts that will get engagement. And if you think about it, if an influencer promotes you, then they are getting you in front of people that know, like, and trust them, especially if it's their personal profile. So if they have you on, their audience is seeing you with that person. And some of them have been following them for years. So this is authentic, real credibility that's been built up over time. And you get that transferred authority and transferred credibility. This is better than paid ads because with paid ads, it's cold traffic. And a lot of time it's kind of forced attention versus organic, it's authentic attention and built in credibility that you can tap into. So the way I see it is I can either dig my own ditch and try to create a river, or I can look around and see that there's endless raging rivers out there. And all I got to do is plug in to those raging rivers.
I love that. So then let's talk about the sales aspect of that. How do you then take all those leads and turn them into, money in your pocket?
Yeah, great question. So it's the law of reciprocity, right? You have to give first. And if you give first and you build value and you build relationships, you're relationship driven, then you build up goodwill. Now, Alex Hormozy talks about this in $100 million leads, and he talks about building up goodwill debt. If you build up enough goodwill, people feel like they owe you, and that's where you put yourself in a position to get referrals or get super affiliates who will promote you and push you a ton of traffic. But the more goodwill you build, especially with targeted people, if you're strategic about it and you're reaching out to the top 1%, then that's the more traffic you can get for free that's already warmed up. So that's number one. Number two is when you are getting on the phone with somebody, don't think of it as a sales call. Think of it as a coaching call. Because really, you want to give them enough coaching to where they can go do it themselves. I call my salespeople coaches. because they go in and if they're having a strategy call with somebody, they're giving it all. They're giving everything. So essentially they're saying, hey, here's a silver platter with everything you could possibly need to go get this done yourself. Here's the do-it-yourself model. It's free. Go enjoy. But if you want to learn how to do it faster and you want us to hold you by the hand and build it right alongside you, this is what it looks like to work with us. So that's the positioning we take. Works incredible.
So, a lot of times when I talk to folks like yourself and then you refer to somebody that's a really big name, I always wonder when you talk about the do-it-yourself version of that, um, are there people like those influencers that are teaching those kind of things that are actually still doing their social media themselves, or do they actually have teams that are actually really doing most of it and taking maybe a talk they did once that day and or once that week and slicing it up and doing all the rest of those posts? Like Gary Vee talks about posting 60 times a day. I mean, does he really
Yeah.
actually post 60 times himself a day?
Yeah, definitely not. So there's software to help with that. And on a lot of the times, if you're engaging with somebody in the comments or in Messenger, it's either going to be a virtual assistant or an appointment setter, especially as you go higher up. As the person gets more influence, they have a larger company, then you're going to run into a situation to where there's going to be a gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is going to be either a VA or a salesperson, a setter. Just like on my profile, I have a setter that runs my profile, but I'll still come in for people that are warmed up or they have a certain influence. Then I'll come in once in a while and I'll still take the conversation over. But I have a setter, a commission only setter that runs most of my conversations. So that being said, if somebody wants to get my attention, they have to give something so enticing that my setter says, Kyle, you must look at this. You have to look at this. And that happens. I have a specific chat thread in our team chat designed for that. I'm like, any red flags or green flags, anything that's like opportunity or looks amazing. This is your place to notify me. You say, hey, Kyle, this messenger conversation requires your attention. And all the time he'll put people in there that maybe they have a collaboration angle that they want to do, or they have a program that can help us and benefit us. So he looks for things like that, and then he gets my attention. Other influencers have the same thing set up because they don't want to miss these conversations that are happening, especially if they're high leveraged and somebody goes beyond the pay grade of the setter or the VA. They're still going to want to come in and have control of their account, of their messenger conversations, but they reserve that for like higher level stuff or deeper in the funnel.
So what is the one thing that if you could just wave a magic wand that people come to you and they want you to do that you wish they knew it doesn't really work that way and you could change in their mindset before you ever worked with them?
So are you saying somebody they're doing something that's just not working and I want them to change it?
Yes.
Okay. So cold DMs, please stop doing cold DMs and spamming people. It doesn't. So for one, it doesn't work, and you're completely wasting your time, and you're really not going to get any sales that way. And if you do get a sale, it's going to be low ticket or probably not a quality client. And number two, you're wasting other people's time because they're having so many conversations coming in and so much spam that you're not going to build up that goodwill. You're not going to get that reciprocation you're looking for. And in this business, it's all about who you know and who you're connected with. Your net worth is equal to your network. And if you're pissing off your network because you're just spamming everybody, then your net worth is not going to go up. So you got to make friends. You got to be cool. Don't spam. Just network. Just get to know people and authentically care about people. This is a cool industry. There's a lot of cool things being done. There's coaches that are doing revolutionary things. They have life-changing impact. There's a reason we got into work for ourselves in this specific industry is because it's fun and impact driven. So remember that and be interested in people, because if you want to be interesting, you got to be interested.
Oh, I love that. So tell us, for somebody that wants to know more or work with you, how can they work with you?
So I have one last nugget I want to drop before I give you guys the gift. So I have a gift for you, but I have one last nugget to drop. Well, maybe two. So number one, if you want to know where to find people that will cross promote and work with you, either do a shout out for you for free, they don't charge for it, or you do an interview swap, or you do a masterclass together, or you do a webinar together, or a challenge or a summit, any of these types of things. If you want to find people that will do this with you, you got to go to the strictest, highest level groups and communities. Skool communities are also a really good place to go, especially paid communities. If you can get in on a paid community, your quality is going to be so much better. And some of them, they don't even cost that much money. And you go in there and network and talk about cross promotion, you're going to get a lot of traffic. You'll never have lead generation problems ever again. If you reach out to people in the cold DMs and you are focused on giving value first and collaborating first, then you'll have good luck. Then you don't have to cold DM anymore because you're going to have warm leads and referrals coming your way. So that's the first thing, is find the strict groups, find the good groups that are influencer led. Next is, if you want to get people to agree to cross promote, even if they're way higher level than you, the way you get them to say yes is to offer to promote them first. Offer to promote them first. Say, hey, I love your message. I want to promote you in front of my audience. And then you're going to have a much better chance of getting a yes when it comes to them promoting you. So that's a huge thing. It's make a big difference for you guys. I even have a script for you. So that's the gift. If you guys want the script, it's called the Zero Resistance Messenger script, and it's a collaboration script. It's all about cross promotion and relationship building. Comment below, guys, and I will make sure to reach out to you and get it to you.
I love that. Well, Kyle, thanks so much for letting me interview you and for sharing your time with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And thank you, guys. See ya.